was in the movie Outbreak. And then Monkey Fever. Golly, look at the crowd. Trust me, folks, I'm not that good.
George!
What?
How many times have I told you,
What?
get the hell out of my chair?
My desk. My desk, you turd. What do you do? Okay, all right. I'll go, oh, feedback.
Go.
Hey, Jimi Hendrix. Sorry. What, am I supposed to be on? What was this, like Merv Griffin? I sit 50 feet away on a couch? Ooh, that's gay. Wait a minute. I hope this isn't the green room couch. We've all heard about that. Anybody got a black light? It looked like Jackson Pollock had an accident. Come on, I'm
Ladies
tired.
and gentlemen, and welcome to Space Ghost Live.
Oh, you got something else? Was that the phone ringing?
Hit the button.
What are you doing now? Something up there?
Yeah, the button box was a great idea. I love this. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Push it and nothing happens. That's great. I feel so secure up here now. Thanks, guys.
I got
This is
you.
awesome.
I got you.
All right.
I got
George
you.
Lowe, everybody.
See, that's why I left the mic there and took this mic so that you got your mic when you threw me out.
Yes, that's right.
Did you guys see my machine in there on the stage? The beautiful job they did on my machine?
Yeah.
Can you believe these guys? And all I had to do was buy them some roofies and a case of enema cream. It's unbelievable. No, they were very, very kind. My mom and I used to play that machine, and I'm a total goofball. But yeah, it was really wonderful. So, been pretty awesome today. Pretty great birthday.
Yeah?
61. You know what that means? Yeah, that's right. Yes, that's the last time I'll hear a younger woman scream. That's pretty much, that ship has sailed. I only have stories of the past. Hey, remember that Playboy bunny that nearly killed you back in '98?
What if you got a deck of cards?
Vitamin E! I was like Peter Boyle screaming for vitamins. Booster shot!
I'm just
Load those. And if you could, a number 18 needle full of whatever numbing medicine you have. Thank you. Hi, Space Ghost.
Hey, how you doing, dude?
As I said on the show once, it's me, watching me, watching me, watching me, watching me.
Well, there you go. How about that?
I'll give you power now. I'll give you power. Unless they'd like to have one more pleasant distraction and enjoy a favorite of mine, 6-second joke. I'll let you decide. 6-second joke and then begin?
6-second joke.
Okay, well let me billboard it correctly. It's 6-second joke brought to you by Tongue Brothers Ball Game Wieners. They plump when you touch them. And now, who's got the time? We've got a timer? Somebody gonna be the official timer? Boy, I'm old and tired. I don't know if I can do it. I gotta do it in 6 seconds. Somebody's got the time on it? Somebody, okay, lady in the back.
Somebody in the back.
Is that a lady or blind as a bat? Here we go. Guy goes to the doctor says you gotta stop masturbating. The guy says, why? Doctor says, so I can examine you. Where do we end up? 5'8"? 5'8", ladies and gentlemen. That 6-second joke brought to you by Pirates Lube. Get your vessel through the channel quicker with Pirates Lube, now in pillaging size. And by Panty Pudding. Pour dry mix in airtight sandy pants and go for a stroll. In just 30 minutes, you've got savory panty pudding. Now tapioca. I'm sorry, should I leave now?
No, you're doing fine.
I apologize up front.
Makes my job easy. I just have to sit here.
That's right. All you got to do is put on the suit and
That's it.
the cucumber in there, and you're off to
Just
the
here to
races.
look pretty.
He said it's not a cucumber; it's a zucchini. And by the time he's done, it's a gherkin, ladies and gentlemen. Just 3 short days
Okay,
later.
George, it's been nice having
And
you.
miracle vinegar. You too can pickle items in your pants with Space Ghost's home pickling kit. Is that Cindy I'm offending over there? Cindy, I'm sorry. Ladies and gentlemen, would you put it together for my dear friend, the lovely, the effervescent Cindy Morgan, right there. You know her, you love her, you can't live without her. We've already had the talk about what voice people make, what movie stars make. The whole verses is, Cindy has shoes that cost more than my home. God bless her. Okay, Space Ghost, I'm shutting up now.
I have to talk?
Guy goes to the doctor. The doctor says, I got bad news and good news for you. He says, what's the bad news? The guy says, you got genital warts the size of papayas. He asks the doctor, what's the good news? Well, you've also got Alzheimer's. Horrible, awful cheap shot. Terrible. I'm sorry, Space Ghost, please.
Are the buttons working yet?
Testing the trap door. The efficacy of the trap door must now come into play. All right.
There's no way to diffuse this. My buttons are dead.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
I could never be more famous than this, by the way. You ever notice how the real TV people sit? It's always that thing where you don't I look natural doing that? It's like when they put the back brace on FDR. It's like, okay, Mr. President, you're ready. Thank you, Phil. Oh, fire. Sorry, shut it up.
Oh, this is just wallpaper.
I think I just saw Uranus. I'm sorry. You love me. We have fun every time, don't we?
Yes, you are.
You'll be sad when I walk out and go back to bed.
Huh?
You'll be sad when I go home for the night.
What else you got?
What else? Oh, that's it. That's pretty much it. Yeah, that's it right now. By the way, some guy had retrofitted one of the urinals. I got 1.5 million points on it. Won 3 free trips tomorrow.
See, he still has it. He'll just keep going. Just watch. Go ahead.
How are you, buddy?
I'm doing fine.
No, it's all you. You have cards and everything. You were prepared.
Yes, I know. I have.
You're prepared and
I have
professional.
cards for everyone but you. We decided why even bother with cards? It's George Lowe, for Christ's sake. Am I right, Bill? Yes, even memories.
We don't need. Oh, look, the monkey moves.
Where's the monkey?
Oh, that's cute. He spent one too many an evening alone at home articulating his monkey.
And it just keeps coming.
Cindy, articulating his monkey. she can't wait to get the hell out of here. back to Boca Vista Grande or, yeah. I'm sorry. Yes, sir.
We're 15 minutes into it. I think I've had, maybe 3 sentences?
We got there.
And it keeps going.
Here's another subtle. What are you trying to show me?
That thing we talked about beforehand.
The thing we told is
Backstage,
this where I leave now?
you have something special
The thing.
for Space Ghost.
Oh, yeah, the Space Ghost. Oh, we're giving him a thing, aren't we?
Yes.
Because he's been so nice.
Yes.
And every year, he does clean the suit, by the way. Unlike Dragon Con, where you're walking through there. Dragon Con, which I call 95,000 kids who smell like cup of soup. Our good friend, Cindy Morgan, as a way of letting you know how much we love you and your lovely Space Ghost tribute that you do every year. Here's the vivacious Cindy Morgan with a special presentation we're making to our beloved Space Ghost cosplayer, Thomas, who always gets the job done, by God. Cindy, do your thing. Do that voodoo you do so well. Does she need the appliance?
Just for you.
So you got nothing to work with, for God's sake. Nobody tells me anything.
Hi, Space Ghost. This is an award honoring Thomas Blasco and the Guardians of Justice, and it's really at Free Play, Florida. Look at how pretty it is. Congratulations. Here you go.
I'm truly touched. That is wonderful. Thank you very much.
It's from these guys.
So, well, gentlemen, this is definitely going to go in a place of honor. Guardians, this one's for you. put that right up there. Thank you very much. We'll see you in just a minute.
Should I go away or
No, you might as well just come on up. Just
I
go ahead and have a seat.
next to George?
You're already up here.
Hi.
No point making you do the stairs more than once.
Hi, George.
Just like on Bird.
Watch that hand, dude. Okay. I'm watching you. I've seen you.
I laid some man eggs for you.
By the way, what the hell is this? Where's my mug? Where's my Space Ghost mug? Batman. I'm not Batman. I want someone fired for this. Take this away. Get this out.
Sorry.
All right, on with the show. Okay, so, well, we've all met Cindy Morgan here. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here. So, as we all know, we did have a guest slated, Bruce Boxleitner. So, thoughts and prayers for the fires going out west and the safety of his family and everybody else involved out there. But we do have Cindy Morgan here today. Isn't that awesome? That's right. Give it up. Give it up. So, now I know you've done a lot of interviews in your career. Have you ever been interviewed by an intergalactic crime fighter?
Say again?
Have you ever been interviewed by an intergalactic crime fighter?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
At least, no, I have not.
Oh, okay. So I'm your first.
Yeah.
All right, awesome.
I did give her a
Awesome.
reach around to Kennedy one year when we were looking for our luggage. I did an interview, I'm sorry.
It was an examination, yes.
No. So now I understand that you have spent some time in cyberspace. So please tell us, what was it like starring in the movie Tron?
It was nice. it was a very difficult job because, like this, I had no idea what was going on. Very similar in that respect, except there was nobody in the audience except for the suits from Disney who would come down once in a while and go, we need more money. And that would be it. I saw the guys once in a while. It was a large black sound stage. Everything was shot in black and white.
So yeah, I was going to ask, though it is a very colorful film, the majority of it was shot in black and white.
Right. When I was there was literally nothing. And I would come in one day and the director would say, okay, you're on the Solar Sailor, you're crossing the game, so go. And it would be, the Solar Sailor was this, a black riser, and there was no game seat. So the problems were like getting your eye line straight, so I had them drag a roll of tape on the floor. It was hard. So when I saw it put together, it was like being on acid. I was like, well, what? Not that I've been on acid, but it's what I would guess.
So that's it.
I had no idea what to do.
But I would imagine it's a lot kind of like how they do CGI now, where instead of a black stage, it's a green stage.
The green screen existed before Tron, because I used to do the weather really badly in Romford, Illinois.
Ah, okay.
So I've used green screen before, but this was entirely different. Now people have sensors on their body. Now they don't have to work entirely in black. We would have to run into a mark without looking at the mark, hit it exactly dead on, because that's exactly where you were tightly lit, so that the artist could come in later. It was really a tough job.
Interesting. So what was it like working, with Jeff Bridges and
He was awesome. He's great. I remember when I saw him in King Kong, I was like, why would that beautiful girl hang out with the hippie over there? He's really a very charismatic, fun, and he makes everything easy. He's so good at what he does, it's just an easy job.
Awesome.
Except for the kissing scene, ladies, 20 takes.
Now, was that his idea or yours?
20. You understand what I'm saying?
Very good. So now in the film, you played the computer programmer Laura Baines as well as the lovely Yori.
In the real world, right. There were two worlds, like Wizard of Oz. Unless you know Tron, and so I shouldn't even say anything. But when I first had to do the press junket, I was talking to people who had no idea of what I was talking about. So I would compare it to the Wizard of Oz, where there were people in one world that you knew, and some in the other world. It was a tough thing to explain. But
So which one did you prefer? What was your favorite?
Laura Baines had a much nicer clothes. She was more like me. You know, I just got to be myself and hang out and have fun. I used to be a tech before I became an actor. Didn't pay enough.
I see. So is there any other Tron stories you can share with us? Some other
Lots.
things? Yeah, let's give it up.
When we shot stuff in the real world, do you guys remember Jeff going, "That's a really big door"?
Yeah.
That was shot at Livermore Labs in California, which is underground. I don't know how many stories, but it really is something's down there. Let me just put it this way. We were on the top floor, on the ground level, and I needed to get to my makeup trailer really quick. And there was this little area that was marked off. It was about so high, about so big, and I needed to go from here to there. So I just stepped over it, and all of a sudden everybody yelled, "Freeze!" And all these guys in white coats came out of nowhere, backed me up, took my shoes. Apparently something was there I shouldn't have been walking in. So you tell me what was over there. Your mouth is open.
So the ideas are flying.
What kind of guests do you usually get? Oh. Hi, George. Hi,
You don't know anything about radioactive material, right?
Say what?
I don't know nothing about no shoes.
So
there's-
back to Tron. Like here, the cycle scenes. How did they achieve that?
In the computer. We never saw any of this. We shot it, and then like a year later, this was Disney's first grown-up film, and we had. I mean, I saw some graphics, but we had no idea it was going to look like this.
All right, so
we would
this
just
is
get
one of the
pages
earliest
every-
forms of CGI that
I think only 20 minutes of it was actually CGI. A lot of it was hand painting. A lot of it was. There were 360,000 codalus. That's a piece of film. For those of you who don't know, before digital, they had things called film. They used to go into cameras.
Yeah.
And these codalus were that big. And hand painted, hand drawn, just stacks and stacks. Yeah, it was an arduous process. And it's beautiful. It holds up over time on a large screen.
Oh yeah, I mean it was very cutting edge back in that day.
Yeah.
So because I believe when they did all the everything was shot in black and white, but then they went back in and hand painted in a lot of it.
Right.
So because they didn't, they had this kind of CGI, but not like what we have today, where they'll just digitally color everything.
It's so different now. What was they had grinded out frame by frame by frame by frame. Now it's digital. There are no frames. There is no film.
Yeah, that's right.
So it's done completely differently.
Very interesting. So now I understand you also starred in a television show called Falcon Crest. Is that right?
Yeah.
So give us a little insight on the difference between working on a film and working in television.
More money.
More money. Is that the big difference?
Shorter hours, more money, and it depends. Right now, everything's crossing back and forth, so the market has fragmented. It's completely different now, but a film is 6 weeks roughly, and then you can come back and do some retakes. Television shows, longer hours. Falcon Crest was an ensemble piece, so there were a lot of actors in it, and there were soap operas off stage and on stage. And the nicest person on that whole set was Jane Wyman, who was a woman who had been around and seen everything. And I remember some of the actors weren't crazy about the fact that I had a really nice, juicy part. So we came to one of the table readings, and they all sat down and made sure there weren't chairs for me, like high school cafeteria time. And Jane Wyman looked up and said, "I'll get Cindy a chair." And she made everybody wait. She took her time, got a chair, and said, "Okay." And I had a scene where I had to walk in and slap her. And she did something bad. I throw something down and I haul off, and I don't go anywhere near her. Trust me, it's a stunt. But I walked up and I said, "Ms. Wyman, I apologize for what I'm about to do." And she said, "Oh, honey, just do your job." And she just lovely. She played poker with the crew when she was off time. She just was really a wonderful woman. So I liked her a lot, and you get to learn a lot of things. But television, the hours are longer. You spend more time on the set. For films, you're just there when you're working. You don't hang out as much. Television, they keep you around in case you need a cover shot, for example. Instead of this, they'll do that.
So what would the atmosphere, is the atmosphere different than when we're, I mean,
I
film
wouldn't
is
say
such a short?
television versus film. I would say each job is different. Okay, Caddyshack, 1979. Guess what was going on there?
Brings me up to our next question. Yes, Caddyshack.
That was a different atmosphere.
So that was what?
That was a different atmosphere.
Uh-huh.
That was my first job. I showed up and it took me about 5 minutes to realize that was another case where nobody was paying attention to the script. Didn't matter. You just rolled, got home from whatever party you were at, rolled through hair, makeup, and wardrobe, and walked outside on the golf course. Maybe you were in the shop, maybe you weren't.
So now, as I remember reading that
Go ahead.
The golf bit that Bill Murray did was completely ad-lib.
Yeah.
He made up the entire thing.
Yeah. A lot of it was ad-lib. Harold Ramis, I know what you're talking about, the golf bit. I was walking by the country club, and Harold said, "Come over here. I want you to see something." And I'm looking, at about 30 feet away. There's Billy. Okay, he's got a golf club. Okay, he's hitting the mums. What is he doing? They're never going to be able to reshoot that. And that was the gag. All Harold did was whisper in his ear, and he went and did it. It got worse. It went past that. If you guys saw Caddyshack, remember the piano scene where Chevy sings, "I was born to love you"? Okay, here's how that happened. It's like 140 degrees in the house. It's South Florida, September, humidity, the giant Klieg lights that they used to have. And it's hot, and love scenes are no fun, really. And I'm getting touched up so I'm not sweating so much. And Harold said, "Go over next to Chevy and say, 'Sing me a love song.'" I said, "Why?" And he goes, just why? We're burning daylight, it's hot, what? He goes, "Just do it." So I sit down and I say, "Sing me a love song. Next time you see this, watch my eyes, because I'm not that good an actor." And I said, "Sing me a love song," and I'm looking. He snorts the salt, throws the tequila, and he launches into "I was born to love you." And I'm like, what the hell? And out of the corner of my right eye, I see the damn camera light on. I said, "They're filming this." That's how I knew we were shooting a scene. That's it. No warning. You can see me laugh a little myself, going, "All right, I'll play." And that was tequila. I took a shot, and I had a big wad of gum in my mouth, and I blew a bubble in his face, and that was the button on the scene. You can play with the big boys. You got to play rough.
I can imagine. Well, so now, in speaking of Caddyshack, what was it like working with so many huge comedic icons?
4 of them: Chevy, Billy, Ted, and Rodney.
So who was the wildest?
Are you kidding me? Rodney.
Rodney.
Yeah, he partied harder than anybody.
So he's like that in real life. It's not just a persona.
You didn't see on screen what was happening in real life. Yeah, no, Rodney had more fun than any of us. He had a really good time.
Oh, that's awesome.
But it was a unique experience that will never happen again. Believe the insurance companies wouldn't have it. I've got pictures of them mining the golf course with gasoline. They were pumping raw gasoline into the ground. They took the people who owned the golf course, they sent them away somewhere. You can see this on the Biography Channel special. They sent them to a party, and they're watching the news, and they're watching their golf course blow up. That's how they found out. And I've got like 1,700 behind the scenes images, and I'm looking really close, and I see, okay, there's 300 extras running toward camera to get FaceTime after this 3-story fireball. And I'm looking, and there's one actor who's not going anywhere, just looking at the smoke. And I'm looking real close, and I'm like, who is that? It was me. I'm the only one that didn't give a rat's ass about the camera. They just blew up the goddamn golf course. And I could feel the impact. That was some impact. I mean, I've got pictures of tree limbs on fire blowing past camera. And they said, okay, I can feel it. And they said, okay, you're going to come here tomorrow because we're going to paint it green and blow it up again. I said, no! I said, you got 300 people here. You'll never see me. They said, oh yeah, we will. You'll be right in front. I said, okay. If I ever give you that okay, you know I'm lying. Because the next day I was on the other side of the golf course and I could still hear the impact. They blew it up again. And 300 extras running like crazy toward the camera. Okay, bye guys.
Wow.
Jets calling it in.
That exactly what happened. It was reported to the Fort Lauderdale airport because, you know, planes flying overhead see a 3-story fireball. That's, you know, they assumed the worst. And, you know, that it was reported to the Lauderdale airport as an air disaster. No, it was just us. What?
Happens every day today.
That's why it's not even funny anymore. But at the time, see, but the nice thing about Caddyshack, and I got to say this, we did a lot of things. But the nice thing about it, it was a unique moment in time. Just that 1 minute, right between the 50s and the 60s and the 70s, where it was a period of adolescence, or, I mean, not to get all sociological on you, but there was gay liberation, women's liberation, black power. Every single thing was going through a change. And it was between everything we did was wrong, and then all of a sudden the path wasn't written for us, and they hadn't come up with tamper-proof caps on Tylenol, or AIDS, or what we're seeing on TV now. Right there for 5 minutes was that adolescent period where we could cut loose and there was a margin of safety. Not 100%, because somebody we all love passed from it a month later. But we were able to have that freedom, and I think that's why people like it, because there was a lot of freedom, there was a lot of joy, and we really were having fun, and we were living our... When you're in the scene with Chevy and he's ad lib, you either stay in the scene or go home, you know. And a lot of actors wanted to act, they ended up on the cutting room floor. So you had to go with, these guys are strong actors, very strong. So it was and we really legitimately were having fun, and I think you can't fake that.
Absolutely.
And that's why watching somebody having fun is fun. It was a more innocent time.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. It's amazing.
I miss it. I don't miss what I was doing. Honest to God, I got to the point where I was like, I can't wait till the film is over because I want to live to see 30. You know, and I slept till noon for a month.
Oh, love it.
Yeah.
Yes.
So how long did principal photography take on that film?
There were roughly 6 weeks.
About 6 weeks?
Of course, when they got all the film back, none of it made any sense because everybody was high every day. So there were these brilliant little vignettes that were really good, but the storyline was gone. So they shot the gopher sequence after the fact, Billy chasing John Dykstra's gopher. They got Dykstra in to do that. And they cut it all together, and that was the movie.
Fascinating.
There was no gopher in the set, no gopher. There was a puppet in one scene, but that's it.
Wow, that's something else. That is
The gopher was our cover.
All right. So, well, we're starting a new thing, which actually George started last year, is we're having our guests. I'm going to ask if you would please.
I'm so damn deaf, he could be giving me his living chicken recipe. This is 44 years of studios, blows your ears out. I'm sorry.
No, that's quite all right. Cindy, I would ask if you would sign my desk.
Oh,
Your what?
Cindy, that's-
My desk. George autographed it last year, so we would like
You
to
want me
have
to
you.
get over there on my knees and sign your desk?
Oh, you can even sign it right here on top.
Yeah, I'll sign it up. Huh?
Good luck.
For who? Him?
Many people believe it increases fertility powers.
Okay. Let's just do this, 'cause I gotta go sleep.
Sign it.
Nice meeting you, Space Ghost. Thank you so very much for having me.
Sydney Morgan, ladies and gentlemen. Give it up.
I gave her power of attorney at dinner, so
Cindy and George.
it's been an interesting day.
Love it.
There you go.
Oh,
Your
thank
monkey's got a stick up his butt.
you.
Cindy and George. There you go, dude.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you for coming on the show. We appreciate it.
George, enjoy.
Again, Sydney Morgan. All right. So, you got anything else for me?
Now to someone who's had no career, ladies and gentlemen. My God, Cindy, you're the best. What I would have given to have been a fly on the wall down there when they were shooting that thing.
Yeah, those were quite some stories. That was very entertaining.
Without a mic now.
So, yeah, let's get George a mic. Obviously, he's gonna hang out. Let's get the man a
We'll have
mic.
somebody else coming in.
Well, of course we do.
I'll wrap up with him and then I'm gonna get out of here and go to bed.
Oh, there you go.
I'm heart pill bound. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. You're a great sport.
I told her the first time I met her, I said, can I have a picture as a belated wedding gift? And she wrote wedding gift.
That's awesome. George Lowe, everybody. That's a look. The safeties are
Actually, a group of late workers' kidney stones that we put together in one beautiful trophy. Killed me from beyond. Thank you.
All right, you get back safely, George. Okay. On with the show. Oh, wow. The floor is finally mine. I'm drawing a blank. I have it all to myself. It's mine. It's all mine. All right. Our next guest was the creator of the one and the only Hubert. Let's give it up for Warren Davis.
Hello.
Come on over and have a seat.
I'll just walk all the way over here.
Well, welcome to the show, Warren.
Yes,
Can I call
thank
Warren?
you. What a lovely crowd. Wow, hey, check out that balcony. Amazing. Oh, hey.
So how are you enjoying your time here in Orlando, Warren?
I'm having a great time. This is a great time. It's my first time down here at Free Play, Florida, but I am having a wonderful, wonderful time.
Awesome. All right. Well,
I can see the signatures on the desk from here.
yes, that's well. It's a thing. You know, I had George sign the thing last year, and he just couldn't stop. I mean, you can look at it over here. I mean, when the man gives you an autograph, you really get your money's worth because he doesn't just sign his name. He starts writing dirty limericks, drawing doodles, and just So I mean, I have a whole paragraph, and it was just a single autograph in the mail.
There's a recipe I see over
So
there.
yes, yeah, he did. I think he did give me a recipe. So yeah, so you really get your money's worth there. So all right. Now, admittedly, I have spent an awful lot of time in outer space. So my time here on Earth is short. So most of what I've learned about you comes from a thing on the internet called what is it? Wikipedia. What is that? Wikipedia. Yes.
Yeah. Don't trust
do you
what
find
that
that to be
says.
a reliable source of information?
No, that is not a reliable source of information.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did anybody
We're
here
done
see
with
my
that.
talk this afternoon? Yeah. So I mentioned Wikipedia a little bit. Yeah. No, they're not very reliable. It's more important on Wikipedia that what's there is verifiable, meaning you can go elsewhere on the internet and find the same